Decisions about how to claim, when to claim benefits can mean thousands of extra dollars. So Tim Stasinoulias, is that close?
Very good,
is joining us this morning to talk about being Social Security savvy. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you.
And we were saying, yeah, we're glad to have you because a lot of people don't realize the ins and outs of this. So you have some real easy tips that people should be considering.
Absolutely, and I think the confusion lies in where to get the information. I mean, Social Security Administration employees, while they want to be very helpful, they're not allowed to give financial planning advice, and they're also prohibited from giving strategies and tips that we're going to talk about today.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so tip number one, you say remember the rule of 35.
Well, the rule of 35, first of all, you need 10 years of work experience to even be eligible to start collecting the Social Security benefits. And then what they do is they take the 35 highest earning years, they do an average, and then that becomes your number. Now, a tip is to continue to work a little longer to average in some of the zeros that might appear. For instance, there might be a stay-at-home mom that didn't work for a few years and had zeros in those years. Well, she can then fill in those zeros by working a little bit longer and boost that average.
Ah, that makes sense. All right, tip number two is wait to collect.
Well, wait to collect is huge because the majority of people still take Social Security at the earliest possible age, which is now still 62.
62,
So
yeah.
typically speaking, if you can wait to full retirement age, either 66 or at the maximum age of 70, you can really boost those earnings as much as 80% higher than if you were to start at age 62.
80%,
so
that's a lot of money.
80%, so it's a tremendous check. An example is somebody who was earning $100,000 a year that would collect at age 62 would get about $19,000 a year. If they waited until age 70, it'd be $36,000 a year.
Wow. So but you say don't wait beyond age 70 necessarily.
It's money that falls through the cracks. There's no additional earned credits that you're going to accumulate from that.
All right, good advice. Tip number three, collect on spousal benefits.
Well, each person has their benefits based on their own work record, and also they can also take the benefits based on their spouse's work record. So in many cases, there might be a situation where you would take benefits based on your spouse's work record because it would be higher than your own. And also, there's a lot of tips and techniques that people don't understand in terms of how to really boost those earnings and add thousands of dollars to your bottom line, like a restricted application. You can do a file and suspend. Now, we don't have time to talk about that, but there's a lot of information on my website about that.
Okay, very good. Tip number four is collect your ex.
Well, collecting on your ex, first of all, people don't realize they can do that, but as long as you're married for 10 years, you can collect on the ex-spouse's work record. And the caveats are age 62, still unmarried. Even if there's multiple exes, they can all collect as long as they meet those requirements. It does not affect the ex-spouse's benefits at all. They're not even notified. So again, if you're worried about doing that based on that premise, don't worry about it.
Interesting. And finally, boost the survivor's benefit.
Well, boosting survivor benefit is another huge thing. It's more of a family decision, but in other words, when one spouse dies, the other one gets to keep the larger of the two checks. And so by waiting longer, as in tip number two, you also help your surviving spouse to have a higher check later on in the event that you predecease, and women still live longer than men. And so that's a decision that really should be well thought out. So again, treat Social Security as a retirement asset, just like you have in your portfolio, like a 401k. Manage it well, and you'll live worry-free through your retirement.
Good advice. Tim, what's your website for more information if people want to go through
www.aegiswealthadvisors.com.
All right. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you, Nicole.
All right,
Appreciate
Rob, over to you on a beautiful Thursday morning.
Yeah, it's really nice.